Hello, good evening, buongiorno, everybody. Welcome to Sicily. It's Capo d'Orlando taking on Elan Chalon in the Basketball Champions League. And we'll be tipping off in about 9 minutes this Group B game. It's a very important game for both teams as you look at the teams warming up and trying to get out there and get ready to put up a big performance, really. Talk about Elan Chalon trying to build on their recent success. They've improved to 4-4 and firmly in the reckoning for a spot in the top four, which they need. And already we've seen Ventspils lose at home tonight to Neptunus Klaipėda, so Elan Chalon can leapfrog them into that top four. Capo d'Orlando, obviously they're down in the lower echelons of the standings, and they've got a lot of work to do. They need to reel off some more wins to try to get into that top four. Right now they are 2-6 and in 7th place. But if you look at Capo d'Orlando, what they've been able to achieve, well, that confirms it right there. In fact, at 2-6, you've got 3 2-6 teams: Capo d'Orlando, PAOK, and Gaziantep. In our standings here, they are in 6th place. But you can see a couple of games behind Elan Chalon. So they can try to close the gap on them, try to close the gap on Ventspils, and all they can do is take care of matters that are in their own hands, and that is to win tonight against Elan Chalon. And, well, we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly with Elan Chalon. Lance Harris, Arthur Rosenfeld, Jeremy Nzuli, Darren Dorsey, Pierre-Antoine Gillette. He gave him a huge boost last week with his return. Usman Kamara, James Farr, Babacar Niasse, Javon Shepard, and Mikhail Jalabal. Their coach is Jean-Denis Choulet. And Wojciechowski there played for Poland in the World Cup qualifiers. He is with Capo d'Orlando, and here is their roster: Galipo, Alibegovic, Maynor, Earring, Atser, Kulbaka, Lagana, Delis, Wojciechowski, Ikovlev, and Donda, and their coach is Gennaro Di Carlo. So Capo d'Orlando, they've had their struggles. They did win last week in their meeting here in Sicily against Gaziantep, a struggling Gaziantep side, it has to be said. And there is Coach Cholet going smart casual tonight, no tie, I like that. And in fact, Capo d'Orlando also won on November 14th, right before the international break, getting their first win. So they, in fact, have won 2 out of their last 3 games. So we've got a game tonight between a couple teams that appear to be rounding into good form. Elan Chalon, not only did they win last week over Neptunus Klaipėda, but they won the week before that at Gaziantep, and that was a big win. So they're going for their 3rd straight win tonight in the Basketball Champions League. And they'll be thinking this is a win they need to get if they're going to have a top 4 finish. Clearly, Capo d'Orlando have had their struggles, and you need to take care of business when it's in front of you. And they will come out tonight believing they can win and that they should win. But Capo d'Orlando have got a point to prove themselves. So Elan Chalon being introduced here in Sicily. Also tonight, Besiktas winning over Ostend. Monaco remaining unbeaten, winning at home over Unet Holon. Banvit winning at Petro Olympia in Ljubljana, and Ches Nimburg winning over Eris in Thessaloniki 71-65. Boy, that's another big result. Eris were coming off a road win and losing that one, so that's a costly one. Tenerife are winning at MHP Reason Ludwigsburg, trying to get back to the top of the standings. And Zielona Góra are on the road winning at Telecom Basket Spawn 20-18, and this will be the next one that starts. In fact, this will be the last game of Tuesday, which starts. All the other games will be played on Wednesday. So Capo d'Orlando being introduced here. Hearing there is the young and very promising guard for Capo d'Orlando, getting good minutes in the Basketball Champions League, and the young Slovakia international trying to prove that he's every bit as good as everybody says he is at 19 years of age. Also, Kubica is 19 years old, young, talented, made the team of the week this past week in the Basketball Champions League. Arnoldas Kubica, the young Lithuanian. So you want to keep an eye on those two guys, as well as Wojciechowski there, who has come out. Kovlev, the power forward. So plenty of options for DiCarlo, and again, it is a game that each of these teams will be believing that they need to win if they're going to get into that top 4 position. Referees tonight: Jeno Yilmaz, Marek Malajewski, and Tomislav Volk from Turkey, Poland, and Croatia. Now, Capo d'Orlando are 8th. They're in the top 8 of the Italian league standings. Elan Chalon, they will start with Inzulid, Dorsey, Camara, Farr, and Jalabal tonight. And the reason why I say that is the Italian league is good, and this is a team that is in the top 8 of that competition. So they've had a tough start, but Choulet, the coach of Elan Chalon, knows full well that Capo d'Orlando are capable of coming out and getting the win tonight. Of course, these teams met earlier this season, and Elan Chalon won that one in France, 67-55. That was on game day 2. For Capo d'Orlando, Earring, the youngster, Ingen Atzer, the veteran guard from Turkey, Kubica, Delis, and Ikovlev will be starting. For Coach DiCarlo, Wojciechowski leaning in, hearing the last words he can from the coach, and also the Elan Chalon players hearing their final words of wisdom from Coach Choulet. Elan Chalon losing in their last game in France. They did win their Basketball Champions League game last week, but then they fell at Nanterre, another Basketball Champions League side, 93-82 over the weekend. So they're kind of looking to bounce back in this one. And again, a vital game for both of these teams. Well, leading the way in scoring at 13.5 points per game. Excuse me, at 11.4 points per game is Harris, the captain for Elan Chalon. And for Capo d'Orlando, their leading scorer in the Basketball Champions League is Wojciechowski at 12.1 points per game. It's kind of surprising because Kubica gets his fair number of shots up there. He's averaging 8.8 points per contest. There he is. And Jalabal. Well, folks, if you're just joining us, welcome to Sicily. This is the Basketball Champions League, and it's a game between Capo d'Orlando and Elan Chalon. He seems trying to state their case to get into that top four, and Kamara turns and is denied immediately. Inganatser, the bounce pass to Earing, and the rejection from Jalabal on Kovlev. So already Jalabal saying not in his house. He's got an interesting hairstyle working tonight, Jalabal. Here's a three-point attempt is good from Inzoli. Kovlev. Now back to Earing. And Jalabal takes it away. He's coming out playing like a demon on defense. A block and a steal. Now Dorsey shakes and bakes. Ball ends up with Jalabal now far from the right corner. And another three-pointer. And Elan Chalon come out smoking hot. Kubica. And his pass, not sure what was happening there, but went off of the Chalon defender and turns it over. Kamara takes the bump, drives in, and now it's an 8-0 start. Kamara looks like he may have taken the pass at the other end off the face. He gets back down and scores. And terrific start for the team from France. And look at DiCarlo. He is pretty animated going after his team.
Stay low. Ex-offense. Hey, come up. Attack or set pick and roll and go. Porca puttana. Let's go.
So the shooting percentages early couldn't be any better. Hardly for Elan Chalon. Only just one miss. So let's see if the DiCarlo is able to fire up his team. If not, he might make a change or two. And now the pass almost intercepted by Kamara. Kovlev chases it down, but the shot clock winding down. Kovlev puts up a three and hits it. They went from potential turnover to cutting the deficit to just 5 points. And Dorsey puts up an awkward shot. And Dellis has it over to Earing. And Farr with the rebound. Dorsey bounce pass. Kamada almost fell, almost slipped. Farr again, a long jump shot from him. Kamara goes up and gets the rebound, hands it off. Nope. tries to get to Dorsey. Somehow Dorsey ends up with it again, and he's fouled. Oh, yeah, Kamara looked like he got fouled, and nothing was called. Boy, what a wonderful part of the world to come and visit. Capo d'Orlando. I mean, you need to come here, folks. This is a nice place to be. And the shot from Dorsey is long. Now Ingenatzer, and his pass almost intercepted. They're reading the passing lanes well, Elan Chalon. Delas over to Kubica, steps inside, puts it up. Delas kept it alive, and Earring chases it down and passes up the jumper, hands it off to Delas, who takes it with confidence. Dorsey puts it up, and Farr comes in for the rebound, puts it up and in. He brings the offense, doesn't he, Farr? Kubica for three. And Jalabal doing a lot of the dirty work. Now he takes the pass and lays it up and in. Silky smooth from Mikhail Jalabal. Delas, his bounce pass, difficult to handle, goes out of bounds. It looked like it went off first Farr. And Dorsey had the shot blocked. He was able to get it up and earns a trip to the free throw line. So, frustrating start here for the fans of Capo d'Orlando, and Wojciechowski comes in. Dorsey misses the first. And one of the issues that, we talked about last week while doing Elan Chalon, this is a team that can open up a fairly decent lead, but not put the game away. And now Delas commits the foul in the offensive on the second straight miss from Dorsey. Interestingly, Dorsey struggled a bit early at the free throw line last week, but then made crucial shots down the stretch. He made them when he had to for Elan Chalon to get their win over Neptunus. Enzuli, well, where is he throwing it? He was throwing it to his coach. Wrong man. And now a hold called on Jalabal. Yakovlev goes down on the baseline and is fouled. By Far. So he's going to stay in the game, and Jalabal. Note Far's also coming out. Harris comes in. Dorsey also goes out. So Pierre-Antoine Gillet comes into the game, the Belgium international. And Rosenfeld brings it forward for Elan Chalon. Kamara passes out to Harris. Shot clock winding down, so Harris launches it, hits a three. Oh, not having any trouble tonight, knocking him in from deep. 3 of 4 for Chalon. 3 different players as well. And now the turnover. And DiCarlo is spitting fire over there on the bench of Capo d'Orlando. Harris again. Kamara boxing out, but doesn't bring it down. And Yakovlev not able to haul in the pass. 5 turnovers. Look at that already. What a nightmare start from that standpoint for the Italians. And 5 assists for Elan Chalon. It seems a bit harsh to have called the turnover on Yakovlev. It was indeed. Thought it would be on the pass. The ball goes out of bounds. Now back to Yakovlev. Also into the game is Alibegovic for Wojciechowski, Yakovlev, Maynor, and Kubica in the game. Here's Alibegovic. Maynor, backup point guard. Wojciechowski, and can't get it to go. Kubica followed, but not able to put it in. Quick pass to Rosenfeld, who puts it up, and good follow, but then the rejection from Wojciechowski. Now, Alibegovic misses from deep, and Harris gets the rebound. Pierre-Antoine Gillet, you can't leave that man open, but they live to tell the tale. Far, though, with the rebound. That is going to infuriate Coach DiCarlo, giving away yet another offensive rebound. Well, offensive rebounds lead to points. There's no doubt about it. Second chance points. Alibegovic for 3. Good. So that is the first three-pointer made tonight for the home side. Harris no-look pass intercepted by Wojciechowski. And Yakovlev, good drive, just doesn't finish. Went right at the taller Far. Rosenfeld into the corner. Good. Another one. A 3 from Harris. Kubica. Ikovlev. And Shepard, who's in the game, commits to foul, his first. Shifty move. Wojciechowski gets in and scores despite Farr lurking close by. Final 25 seconds of the first quarter. Kubica commits the foul on Shepard. Alabegovic. This is him passing to Wojciechowski. Oh, Farr. Oh, passes up the three. Takes it inside. And it looked like Chalet not thinking maybe his player should have taken the three. Now Wojciechowski at the other end. His attempt no good. He's going to have to launch it. Harris does in time, but it was short. So that is the end of the first quarter, and it's obviously been a much better quarter for Elan Chalon. So 20-10, Chalon on top, and 4 3-pointers from 8 attempts. Elan Chalon, 4 of 11 inside the arc. But also from a rebounding standpoint, 8 rebounds for Capo d'Orlando, 13 for Elan Chalon, 5 of those coming on the offensive glass. Players you got to look out for so far for Elan Chalon that have been very effective. Farr with 7 points, and Harris has the 2 3-pointers. So they've got 13 of the team's 20 points. Also Farr and Kamara each with 4 rebounds. I'd expect Capo d'Orlando to come out and play with some more fire here in the second quarter. The second quarter action underway, and a turnover right into the hands of Rosenfeld, and unsportsmanlike has been called on Ikovlev. Turned it over, and then he complicated it by trying to stop the fast break, so it'll be 2 free throws and possession. That's a tough call. That is a very tough call. I mean, he was reaching around. He made contact with the ball. He barely made contact with Rosenfeld. I don't understand that one. But you know what? If the referee thinks that he's done it and he hasn't played the ball, he's got to make the call. but I think it's just a tough call, tough break. Called on Capo d'Orlando. Nevertheless, those things will even out over the course of the game. We can all safely assume. Harris. Well, he had Farr wide open, but he took the drive instead. And the ball goes out, and three-pointers made by Ali Begovic. Rosenfeld misses. Kubica with the board. A little bit of a momentum swing here, perhaps. Trailing by 9. The dump to Wojciechowski. Oh, blocked from behind. Oh, blocked again by Farr twice. 2 defensive plays by Farr. And the 3-on-1 break. And the alley-oop. What a play. What a turnaround by Elan Chalon. They went from giving up an easy one. They stopped that, and then they scored on the break themselves. Maynard and his pass to Wojciechowski's misses. Pierre-Antoine Gillet on the break. Bam! Three-pointer, 27-13, and a timeout called by DiCarlo. You have to really tip your hat to Farr. 2 blocks denying Wojciechowski, and then Elan Chalon getting out on the break. Boy, that changed everything. Let's go down to the bench and listen.
Eric. Next offense. Marietto, Engin, Mirza, Cuba, Marione. Next offense. Watch out. Pistol. Marietto, play with Engin. You attack over here. Marione, Cuba.
On continue sur 3 tournes, 3 sides. On a toujours
So the
quelque
fast
chose
break
de bon.
points, 7
Okay?
for Elan Chalon,
We
none
went
for
on
Capo
low
d'Orlando.
position
Also
for,
points in the paint.
For him, we play 5 side. Okay, 5 side. 1 time, 2 time, back pick, pass, stagger, and cut. Okay. Okay. We go 3. Actually, we go 3 side opposite of Jimmy. We play 5 side.
So a little bit of frustration here for the home fans, and you can understand why. You know, they're at home, and maybe they lacked a little bit of fire at the beginning, and they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole. And the pass to Wojciechowski, and the foul, and the ball goes back over. See what? Yeah, the push by Dellis pushed off on Pierre-Antoine Gillet. 3rd foul. He has to leave the game. And Shepard not able to finish. I heard some bodies down there, but referee's letting them play. Another foul called. And Shepard picks up his 2nd, so he goes out. And the drive and fouls again, and 2 shots coming for Capo d'Orlando. Nice pass inside. Earring makes the first. Donda also in the game, number 73. Young talent for Capo d'Orlando. Second one is good as well. Just 18 years of age, Andrea Donda. Far on the right. And Earring gets the rebound, goes behind his back. Earring turns. Wojciechowski, that's good. 3-pointer. So back to single digits now. The Elan Chalon lead. Gelabal and Kamara are going to come back in for Elan Chalon. Gillet hits the 3-pointer. He is just a pure shooter, isn't he? And the follow is good from Wojciechowski. And that gets it back to 10. Inslee drives, puts it up with the left hand. Kamara keeps it alive, but Ingenatzer comes down with it. Has a chance to run. Bounce pass, beautiful play. Atzer! And Wojciechowski runs the break well. And you wonder, maybe the temptation from Cholet is there to call the timeout. Stop this run. 8 points. Gillet hands it off. Inslee. Gets it to Kamara, goes up with the left hand. Good solid play. And you can see that Cholet had been asking for a timeout. They tried to call it off. They did call it off. Good defense again, but Wojciechowski gets it. And the long rebound collected by Gillet. Now the crowd expressed their ire at Earring getting his second foul. Harris drives in strong, scores over Wojciechowski. Earring now. Capo d'Orlando seem like they're awake, but the problem is they're down. Donda for 3. How about that? The 18-year-old. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And Donda strikes. Wide open for the 3. Touch pass, maybe a little bit too hard to handle. And Jalabal reaches in and fouls. Chalon telling that referee he's made 2 tough calls on him. Well, he has to go back and hear the instructions from the coach. Let's go down to the bench.
We gotta be a little more patient in offense, okay? Hey, the rotation, he's too far. Who's here? The guy is here, shooter. You cannot rotate like this, man, okay? Stay with your man here, okay? Rotate 2, but not 3.
Bench points. Points in the paint.
Okay, hey, next play we play 4 Mike. 4, no. Mike is on
Marietto, just to receive the ball. Attack on baseline, okay? Andrea, you make.
See that? 34-25 points by quarter.
Dennis, make the second screen for Mirza. Drive and keep the corner. You got it? Let's go.
Earring. Back to live action. Alibegovic from the left. Jello ball now from the right. This crowd here in Sicily making a concerted effort to increase the level of noise. And with their team down by 9 points, we could easily see them reel off going a little run here at the end of the half to get this thing back to a more manageable deficit. Donda handed it off, rolled in. Earring back to Kovlev. Atzer for 3. Good! Shot clock winding down. He had no choice, and Atzer cuts that deficit back to 6 points. Three-point attempt from Dorsey. Well, that was not a good possession. Earring for 3. Maynard's going to check back into the game here for the hosts. So each team taking difficult three-pointers on their last possessions. Now they go inside, and Kamara rewards them with a bucket. I tell you, basketball's simple sometimes, isn't it? Go for the high percentage shot. You can get it. Take it. Kovlev, and don't think he beat the shot clock. And let's see, you can see if the scoreboard lights up before. Sorry, you can't see it there. Excuse me, the backboard, I mean. The lighting that goes on the edges of the backboard. Will they look at it? They're certainly asking him to. Look at DiCarlo. No. No, they're saying a block now on Dorsey. So Kovlev makes the first. And he also makes the second. Kamara again, and this time Akovlev helped out. Shot clock winding down. Kamara, a little bit out of control there. And now Atzer has it. I mean, it's one thing to take it down low, but if it's not there, pass it and get an open look. At least you get a shot. Entry pass to Donda. Boy, he is tough. Showing it inside and out. And in the final minute now, Capo d'Orlando trailing by just 4 points. Shot clock winding down. Dorsey for three. Kamara again gets the rebound. A new 14. Boy, Harris almost lost that. Dorsey. Entry pass to Kamara. Oh, don't those second chances feel good for Elan Chalon. You get the offensive rebound. You get it back, and you get another look. Atzer. Might he take it? Yes, he will. Good! Another three for him. That's two in the quarter. And Dorsey's attempt hits off the rim right at the end of the first half. So, all things considered, Capo d'Orlando will be happy with that. They are trailing 38-35 at halftime. Nine of 21 inside the arc. Chalon 6 of 15 from deep, but now Capo d'Orlando have hit 7 3-pointers, and that's been a big part of their comeback. Also, just one turnover in that second quarter for the hosts. Wojciechowski has 9 points, Harris 8 for Chalon. Earring 5 rebounds and 3 assists for the home side. Well, Elan Chalon, we've said it so many times before, they've gotten up on top, but they haven't put the opponent away. And now, is it going to come back to bite them? Well, we'll find out. Second half coming your way shortly. We'll be right back. 38-35, Elan Chalon on top of Capo d'Orlando. They had a much bigger lead in this contest. They led by as many as 14 points, but in the latter stages of that second quarter, this Italian team, Sicilian team, Capo d'Orlando, made a nice little run and pulled within 3 points. Now, something that's hurt them in the past is not starting strong in a quarter, and we've seen Elan Chalon, perhaps they can come out and reestablish their lead, but I would say it's imperative for Capo d'Orlando to have that intensity level correct and be ready to go, or else the visitors will race back in front. So leading the way for both teams, you've got Harris with 8 points, Wojciechowski with 9. Harris for Chalon, and Wojciechowski has the 9 points. And also 8 points for Usman Kamara. Kamara has 5 rebounds. The player I've been impressed by has been Donda, the youngster, the 18-year-old for Capo d'Orlando. I mean, he is a talent. Great to see him getting some minutes. Remember, this team has these teams have come into this situation. Elan Chalon with 4 wins and 4 defeats. Of course, they won their earlier matchup against Capo d'Orlando back up in France. They won that one. If they win this one, they will climb into the top 4. And you need to be in the top 4 if you're going to progress after the regular season. Capo d'Orlando, however, they've won 2 out of their last 3 games. And, you know, if they get a win tonight, it'll be their 3rd win on the season. And they will still have life in the hunt for the playoffs. Well, welcome back, folks. We hope you've enjoyed your tea break or coffee break or whatever you've had. And Elan Chalon come out strong. Nzuli catches it down low, and the Cameroon international powers his way up for 2. 20 points in the paint for Chalon on the night. Earring. His pass intercepted. Not a good start for the hosts. Nzuli again gets inside, and then he takes a bump. Wojciechowski. Not too much done wrong there by the big fella. Pass to Nzuli. Remember, they had the wind in their sails at the end of the first half when they were cutting it and got it back to 3. And then halftime came, and you almost wonder if they've lost if the winds have died down, so to speak. And they are going to turn the ball over. Nzuli saying, you got to pass it, Mikal. So good defense. 5-second violation called on Jalabal. Atzer, and almost got his 3rd 3 of the night. Inzuli starting to look for his shot and hits the three. He's the captain of Elan Chalon. Yakovlev, short. Now Rosenfeld brings it up. So Cholet electing to go with him as the starter here in the second half rather than Dorsey. Inzuli gets inside, explodes to the lane. Oh, that was big time from Inzuli. Cameroon's finest. And we talked about it, and sure enough, Capo d'Orlando, you know what? They needed to start strong. They haven't. And instead of trailing by 3 points, they're now down 10. Field goal percentage for both teams, each 7 of 16 from deep.
Next off. Angle, stay here. Double eye, straight.
Et tu pars en départ croisé, tu attaques au cercle. Ok, one side. Il va faire le feinte à là et de l'attaque là. Ok, regardez à l'opposé si jamais. Et attaque au cercle fort. Ok, he's gonna fake the pick and roll.
Quarter by quarter scoring.
Okay.
So it's taken only 2 minutes and 4 seconds for Elan Chalon to stretch a 3-point lead at halftime to 10 points. Now Wojciechowski. And Alabegovic hits the three. That's more like it. Inzuli over to Gelé. And the fight for the rebound goes over to Kovlev now. And blocked from behind, Jalabal. And Jalabal called. He says, I got all ball. Wow. Jalabal is just not getting the rub of the green tonight. He looks at Alabegovic as if to say, you know that was all ball. But that's basketball. You got to take it. Sometimes you get those calls, sometimes you don't. And just tonight, it seems like Jalabal is not getting the benefit of those calls. But Alabegovic misses the first one. He does make the second. We're back to a 6-point deficit. Harris turns. Harris has come in for Jalabal. And now the ball goes off Inzuli. It's a backcourt violation. Over and back. Well, for whatever reason, I don't know, he wasn't concentrating. The ball did just go straight through his hands. Kulbaka over to Kovlev. Maynard. And his pass goes out of bounds. He seems to be indicating that he thought the ball went off of a Chalon player. No? Rosenfeld comes up high. Nice shifty mood, Rosenfeld. Oh, Rosenfeld, what are you doing? You had the shot. He tried to pass it out to the perimeter. He had a layup. 3-point attempt. Ali Begovic. Kubica challenged for the rebound. I think Rosenfeld felt like he was in the land of the trees and there was somebody waiting to block it. So he was going to pass it, but he ended up throwing it up off the underside of the rim. Here's Rosenfeld this time. I think he got blocked by the backboard. And it goes to Kovalev. Kubica guarding Rosenfeld. And now a technical foul has been called on Rosenfeld. It's not been a great stretch for him for trying to bait the referee into calling the foul. So he's going to take a seat. So Kubica will take the free throw. And it will be possession for Cabo d'Orlando. And it's back to a 3-point game. Well, the referees got it right, I'm afraid. They definitely did on that one. Wojciechowski put up an air ball. Not sure what that was about. Midway through the third quarter here. And we're right where we were at halftime, a 3-point game. Dorsey, who's now come off the bench to replace Rosenfeld. Shot clock winding down, is looking like he might turn it over, but he gets inside, had the layup, missed it. Now they're going to pass it, ended up with a jump shot from far, and he hits the three. And Farr shouted up at the fans, and they took exception to that. Three-point attempt from Earring, no, and Pierre-Antoine Gillet gets the rebound. Boy, excuse me, that was not Earring that was out there. But anyway, that was, those offensive rebounds have been killers. Big part of this game. Enzoli for three. And once again, the offensive rebound from Farr. How tough has he been tonight? He's somebody that makes plays. You can see he is pumped up. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a block shot for Farr, having himself a nice game. Also an efficiency mark of plus 18. And Kubica drives and draws the foul. So the young Lithuanian at the free throw line, Kubica, who was outstanding last week and ended up getting on the team of the week. They would very much like it here in Sicily if he could start to heat up now and help the team's cause. Kubica, all of his points coming from the free throw line tonight. He's got 2, make it 3 points. Dorsey pulls up and doesn't get it to go. I think he got to look for far since he's been so hot. Dellis. Well, he took the bump. Doesn't get the break from the rim. And Harris hits the jump shot at the other end. Back to an 8-point game. Harris now with 10 points. Maynard. Kubica. Open. And Dorsey waves his teammates up the floor. Pulls up at the line. Still can't buy a basket. Over to Inzali. However, those second and third chances for Elan Chalon are just proving the ruining of this Capo d'Orlando team tonight. Nine offensive rebounds for Elan Chalon, 3 for Capo d'Orlando. Second chance points in the paint. Second chance points, rather, 14 for Elan Chalon, and then points in the paint. 24.
Watch out. If you cannot.
Head and chest, okay? One head and chest, you got me? Okay, so let's do it right. And move the ball, play all defense, communicate, okay? 2 mètres 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, guys, let's go. Come on.
So back to an 11-point lead for Elan Chalon. Remember, they are 4-4. This Capo d'Orlando team is 2-6. Ingenatzer. He's provided some points tonight. 8 in all. He's hit a couple of threes. Final minute, 45 seconds. And Dorsey's pass batted. Farr gets in. Boy, he has money in the bank, folks. Starting to become a contender for team of the week, I think. Bounce pass to Dellis. Now Kubica. Dorsey crosses midcourt. Oh, beautiful finish from Dorsey, and the lead now 13 points. And Dellis and Harris exchanging words. And Dellis, you have to understand why he makes that call, or why he appeals for that. It's because he had picked up the 3 fouls. He was a little bit frustrated. And he's like, if you're going to call them on me, you got to call them on them. So, well, maybe Harris. I don't know. What was going on there? Wojciechowski catches it down low and scores. $11 points for Wojciechowski. Well, Maynard, up it goes to Dallas. A couple of layups have been made here by Capo d'Orlando to get it back to single digits. Dorsey. And Kamara. Fans thought he got away with a push. Bounce pass. Throws it back out. Shepard. And Dallas. And again, Dallas appealing for a foul. And I think he's right. I think he kind of had him wrapped up. Of course, they were tangled. And now, back to the free throw line goes Capo d'Orlando. Tonight, they are 8 of 9 at the free throw line. Elan Chalon just 2 of 4. First one is good. So that confirms how good that free throw shooting has been tonight. Second one is good as well. And Dorsey's pass intercepted. But Wojciechowski's attempt too late. And Shulet says, Dorsey, you got to shoot it. Time's going down. Elan Chalon nevertheless still lead at 59-52. 10 minutes remaining. So 3-point shooting, Chalon now 9 of 21 and 15 of 33 inside the arc, but the free throw shooting is helping Capo d'Orlando. So here's some of the highlights from the third quarter. Well, Farr has been the man, hasn't he? I mean, when you look at his stats tonight for Elan Chalon, 14 points, 7 rebounds, a block shot, 3 assists. He has a 21 efficiency mark tonight. So that could go up substantially as well. He could do some more damage. Kubica hits the shot from just behind the free throw line. Zuli passes it back to Farr. Dorsey. Maynard with the board. Up to Dallas. Well, they were trying to get an easy one, but they turn it over. Now Dorsey back to Inslee, back to Farr. Oh, beautiful play, Elan Chalon. And Farr, instead of taking the shot, made the extra pass for the layup. Inslee came up with a gimp ankle, but seems to be okay now. Dallas bounce pass, and more they're starting to get some easy looks down low. Long way to go in this one, folks. Don't go away. 8:45 remaining. 13 points. Wojciechowski. Shepard, pulls up, drills it. Nice soft touch from the Canadian. And Shepard goes up and collects the miss. Now Dorsey hits the jump shot. And the lead goes back to 9. Meanwhile, a big result appears to be on the way down in Germany. The Bears start Tenerife winning 78-60 over the group leaders. So 65-59 after the Kubica shot. He's now 1 of 4 from deep. And Dorsey tries to answer. Dallas with the rebound. Kubica again. He's starting to heat up. Nope. Misses that, and Kamara with the rebound. Dorsey, they tried to foul him. Did they call it? Yes, they did. Maynard picks up his first. So Wojciechowski, here's some applause as he goes to the bench. His team down 6. Shalabal meanwhile back in, as well as Rosenfeld. And Inzerli, oh, nobody picks him up. Inzerli just lays it up and in. Now Jalabal collects the rebound off the miss. Rosenfeld passes to the corner. Inzerli, well, good defense in the end by Capo d'Orlando. During passes to Ikovlev. Ikovlev steps back. During with the rebound and the putback. And Harris misses. And Inzerli with the rebound, but he gets blocked. And now a foul. And Ikovlev is upset. He felt like he was fouled by Inzerli. No. Ikovlev thought he got away with the block, rather. But it looked like Capo d'Orlando had wrapped up. Was it Dallas? had wrapped up Inslee, but no call was made there, so that one might have evened out as Inslee makes the first. Kubica for three. Well, Kubica's wide open, missing that shot. Inslee explodes down the lane. Goodness gracious, what a strong move from Inslee. Maynard for three, and Inslee with the board and hands it off to Rosenfeld. It's a 10-point game. Rosenfeld puts it up for three. And the rebound, Alibegovic. Kovalev over to Maynard, passes up to three, back to Earring. And Kamara with the board. Just 4.5 minutes remaining now. Rosenfeld takes his time, gets it back to Harris. Harris. And ball was kicked and turned over now to Capo d'Orlando. It was kicked by Harris. Wrong sport. Entry pass and foul out on the perimeter with 3:51 remaining by Harris. And the ball tipped away, but it ends up with Alibegovic. Good! 71-64. There's still life for Capo d'Orlando. And Alibegovic commits the foul. That's the third team foul on Capo d'Orlando. Poor Donda hadn't gotten in. I wanted to see him some more. Inslee has been a real star here in the second half, playing a captain's minutes. There he is again. Explodes down the lane, puts it up and in. Wow, he has been terrific. As good as Farr was, look at Inslee now with 23 points. Unbelievable. Alibegovic. Penetration, the drive, and Kamara just lays it up and in. Well, inspirational stuff from Inslee, and here Kamara just laying it up and in. And DiCarlo calls timeout. One last roll of the dice for the home team. Let's go down to the bench and listen in.
Cuba inside Marion. Eric inside Mariette. Engin, Mirza, Cuba side, top.
And Arthur here, and I want
See the free throw shooting percentage tonight, both teams. (75-64). Well, as good as Far has been tonight, Inzali has just been utterly spectacular in the second half. 20 of his 23 points have come in the second half. And the captain is he's now at plus 24 efficiency. And it's interesting because he came to bat. He came to the plate, so to speak, and really started to make an impact when the home team started to really challenge. So you have to say the captain has answered the call. So the ball inbounded to Kovlev. Now Atzer has it. Ali Begovic dribbles behind his back. Back over to Maynor. Atzer. And Rosenfeld collects it. And they will be more than happy, I think, to take some time off the clock. Back to Mikhail Jalabal. Shot clock down to 6. Inzali, why not? Let him. Oh, he gets rejected this time by Kovlev. Good play. Maynor launches one. Front and back of the rim. Harris gets the rebound. And it's just not happening for the Sicilians. They made their run, but halftime came at the absolute worst time for them because ever since they haven't been at the top of their game. And Rosenfeld drives in and draws the foul. So disappointment tonight for the home side. They need certain things to happen. I mean, first of all, though, for Capo d'Orlando, you have to be ready to go from the off. And I'm not sure the intensity level was right at the start of the game. Rosenfeld makes the first. And also makes the second. On the pass, and Kovlev misses. Back to Earring. And that one is good. Ali Begovic back to a 10-point game. Now Harris has it. Puts up the long jumper. It's good. .12 points for him. Earring no-look pass. Oh, beautiful finish from Wojciechowski, but with 30 seconds to go, it's going to be too little too late. They're playing keep away. Shot clock down to 7. Jalabal puts up a 3. And Kubica with the rebound. This will be it. Boy, this was a fast game, wasn't it? Earring pulls up for 3. And the game, sadly, for Capo d'Orlando comes to an end. So, impressive win on the road, really, for Elan Chalon. They win it 79-69 and improved to 5-4 in the group. They are now in the top 4 of Group B. So 79-69, Elan Chalon winning it. And as you look back, 16 points for Ali Begovic for Capo d'Orlando. Wojciechowski had 15 points. Elan Chalon, Inzuli with 23 points. And you also had Farr, who had 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Perhaps a more well-rounded effort, but nevertheless, Inzuli was just explosive tonight. And, you know, just overall, just a very solid win now. 3 wins in a row for Elan Chalon. They're 5-4 in the top 4. Remember, you got to be in the top 4 to move on to the next phase of the competition by the end of the regular season. So Ventspils drop out of the top 4. They're now 4-5 in 5th place, and Capo d'Orlando 2-7. And they know that they're going to be down amongst the bottom. They could, in fact, be bottom, depending on what happens with Gaziantep and PAOK. So here in Sicily, a sad night for the home side as they were searching for a 3rd win in their last 4 games in the Basketball Champions League. But they end up coming up well short, really. I mean, they trailed by 14 points. They cut the deficit back to 3 by halftime. They were playing great, but when they came back out at the start of the second half, Inzuli and Farr really just kind of got things going for the visitors.